Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Jake and Justin in the morning. Hope we're all doing well. Justin, how are you this morning?
It's not a good morning.
It
It's
is
not.
really not. So, what ask you what you had for breakfast? Wait, did you
I
have breakfast?
did. I
What'd you have
did.
for
I had
breakfast?
a I had a
forgot you had
breakfast
class
I
this
had a
morning.
breakfast sandwich on a bagel
From where?
from JBC. It makes really good
Mmm.
bagels, as we know. They just make really good food. I left. I had after my music class. My music teacher is literally right behind me.
I know. I can always see
I
him
literally
through his
see him.
giant
What
window.
is he munching on, bro? Bro's just staring. Bro is staring at me. He knows exactly what's going on. But yeah, that's basically all I had for breakfast today. I know it's Yom Kippur. I am half Jewish, so I probably should be fasting, but that's just been long gone now.
Yeah, I'm not super into that, but I'm also Jewish, so happy Yom Kippur to all those who celebrate. But let's jump right in. So, I think it's only fitting we start with the futility that is the New York Jets.
Please don't scream in my ear, Jake. Please don't.
All
I
right,
know you have a rant
I
planned. I know
do.
I have a rant planned, so I'm gonna let you go first. But please,
I,
for Christ's
I'm gonna
sake,
be very loud. I'm telling
do
you.
not scream in my ear.
Okay, I will try my best not to make you go dead. Okay, all right. So I do have a rant prepared. Justin may or may not.
I do.
You're,
I'm
he,
scared. I'm
Justin is
scared.
giving me. Justin is being very polite, giving me the honors of going first. What I do not understand is why does Robert Sala continue to run Zach Wilson out there? In this league, some guys have it and some guys don't. This kid doesn't have it.
Every league is a make or miss league. It's
Exactly.
all a performance based league, and
Yep.
everybody knows that you are only as good as your last game.
Exactly. The dude cannot play the game of football. He does not belong on a football field. He couldn't. Shannon Sharp said he couldn't play. What did he say? He couldn't play dead in a video game or something.
Yeah.
Like,
I apparently my mom texted me. She said Rex. I guess she was watching Get Up, and apparently Rex Ryan said, and I quote, Zach Wilson can't even hold Aaron Rodgers' jockstrap.
and he's right. He can't. He couldn't hold mine.
You
The
don't even have
dude
a jockstrap.
sucks. I don't even have one. He
The
couldn't
hell
hold.
is going on?
He couldn't hold my hand. The dude can't play. They cannot win with this kid. I don't care how good the team is. They cannot win with this kid. They need to get somebody else. And look, I like Robert Sala. I've criticized him a lot, but I do like him. I think he has potential to be a really good coach in this league. But I don't understand why his allegiance to this kid. Like, especially for a guy who is coaching for his job this year. I don't care what the circumstances are. If he doesn't make the plans, he is gone. His head coaching career, at least for the Jets, is over. He will be gone. And Joe Douglas, who outside the Zach Wilson draft pick, hasn't done that bad of a job. I've actually liked what he's done.
No. See, my rant is very different from yours.
Ooh, I can't wait.
My rant is very different from yours.
But regardless, he will also be gone. He will be out of New York. Like, I don't understand. Like, look at that offense. Do you see what they put out there? In the first half, 39 total yards. 39. 30 freaking 9. Are you kidding me?
Which is sadly more efficient than Zach Wilson was in last year's game against the Patriots.
I know, it's like his best game against the Patriots, and he still sucked. The dude is awful. He's god awful. And look at this offense. Hackett's a horrible offensive coordinator. Can he run the damn ball? I don't understand why he won't run the football. Look at our running backs. Brees Hall, we saw last year. He has a chance to be a young stud. Delvin Cook hasn't looked great, but he was 1,100-yard back last year.
You can make him a goal line back.
Yeah, I mean, the Vikings offensive line didn't actually light it up last year. He still ran for 1,100 yards at an age where most running are considered at the very end of their career. Like, they have a chance to be a great running team. Look, the O-line is a work in progress, which I kind of expected. McCabe basically hasn't played in 2 years, and now Joe Tittman is a rookie, and you throw in it, who's now your right guard. You slide Vera Tucker over the tackle. He's a guard. He played tackle in college. Hasn't played tackle really since college. He's coming off an injury, but it's gonna take a little time. But my God, this offense is futile, and it should not be this bad. They have the best running back duo in the league. They have one of the best receivers in the league in Garrett Wilson. They have some other weapons. Alan Lazard is solid. McCole Hardman, who I don't understand why they're not feeding him. I'm not saying McCole Hardman is like, on the level of Garrett Wilson, but with how much speed he has, and how much, and just his overall veteran presence.
You could find some place for him.
Exactly.
You can find him in the slot somewhere.
Yeah, and the speed that Xavier Gibson. I know he's really a return. He's more of a return than a receiver, but still.
What about Abanaconda?
Get him involved in the running game. I don't understand the Jets' offense. When Robert Saleh came here, his whole thing in his first press conference was all gas and no brake. To this point, his third year, 3 years, he's been all brake and no balls. This guy needs to grow a set of balls, or he can go kick. He can kick his ball and leave. Okay, I'm getting really tired of this bald-headed idiot. Okay, I am tired of him. Grow a set and realize this kid ain't it. The organization is a disaster, and they always has been. Always have been. Get somebody. I call Vikings and get Kirk Cousins right now. Free agent to be. Vikings suck. They might look like they're going to have to sell at the trade deadline. Go and get them. With Kirk Cousins, they can definitely be a playoff team. How if they pick up Carson Wentz, he might be able to win 9 games. Something needs to change.
You done?
I am done. Justin, take it away.
So, yeah, Jake, very nice rant on Robert Saleh. I didn't understand that whole, he got to kick his ball out, but, I get what you were talking about. No, I'm looking more at Joe Douglas here. I am infuriated with Joe Douglas. I have not liked what Joe Douglas has done with this football team. In his entire years of drafting, the only 2 good people he has drafted, he drafted only 3 good players: Sauce, Breece Hall, and Garrett Wilson. Let me first start off with Breece Hall. Breece Hall, fuck you. You cannot cry about getting only 4 touches and then have a performance like that. Yeah. That you basically you had less than 50 yards and you had a fumble. You're lucky it wasn't taken away from you. But I think Joe Douglas is the problem here because here's the issue. You give Robert Saleh, a defensive-minded coach, who's to where the Jets' defense was always the best part of their game. You expect him to have some kind of offensive mind and expect him to have results with Zach Wilson? No, you're immediately throwing him into a terrible situation. When Robert Saleh got there, after Zach Wilson was young, the O-line was horrible, they had no weapons, Elijah Moore was being a child. They literally had nothing they could do. Last year, okay, things improve on that end, especially on the weapons end, but now Zach Wilson is proven to not be the guy. And what do you do? You don't fix it. Instead, you put in Mike White, who's horrible. You had to throw in Chris Streveler in primetime. If you love Zach Wilson that much, what's your allegiance? Why are you throwing in Chris Streveler against the fucking Jaguars? And then third year, okay, you pick up Aaron Rodgers, great work, but the problem is this: he's now hurt, and you're gonna expect him to play next year. He's gonna call off a torn ACL on December 5th. He turns 40 years old, and your season is going to be over by then. Yeah. He's not gonna play again. He's not gonna be good again. And if all you did was keep that 13th overall pick, really would have benefited this team? Broderick Jones. You know who we got? Will McDonald. You want to know why? Because Joe Douglas cannot think on the fly ever. Whenever shit hits the fan, he does not have a chance to think. You hire Nathaniel Hackett for no other reason. It's clearly not because of his Broncos career. It's not because of that. It's because he's Aaron Rodgers' butt buddy. Yeah. He's Aaron Rodgers' butt buddy. And the problem is with that is when you have an all-time great quarterback running your offense, you don't need an offensive coordinator. Yeah. Look at Josh McDaniels. Yeah. You don't need it.
He was, with when he had Brady, he looked great, and then he goes to the Raiders. You're like, oh,
Yeah, and he
why
sucks.
does he suck? Like,
And he says Robert Saleh to me has not had a situation yet to where a game was cost because of his terrible play calling. There are coaches in the NFL who have had very questionable play calls that have gotten them fired. Josh McDaniels should have been fired. Nathaniel Hackett did get fired. Jeff Saturday is no longer the head coach. Why? Why? Because they make dumb plays. Because as when it comes to a game time decision, they don't make the right decision. Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan is calling your front office, wanting to play for you. Two people who have went to the Super Bowl, one of which has won a Super Bowl, and you hang up the phone? That's Joe Douglas's fault.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I'm not saying I'm so high on Carson Wentz, but Carson Wentz would have done anything more than Joe Douglas has. This man is absolutely clueless. I would give Saleh I would give Saleh 2 more years.
Really?
I would give him 2 more years if we had a general manager who actually knew what the fuck the New York Jets were.
Yeah, when it comes to Saleh's play calling, it's really been his clock management's been the issue. To me, his clock management definitely needs some work. I think that really a couple of times.
Yeah, but that will come with time. The other issue is this: he does not have some of the worst clock management I've ever seen. Liam is a Packers fan. The reason why they lost to the Falcons is because Matt LaFleur for no reason blew 3 timeouts 10 seconds before the 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
That is poor clock management. A 2-minute warning is essentially a free timeout.
I'm fucking pissed from that.
I know.
Liam is
I know.
Still not
Liam.
over it. That being said, Liam, you did beat the Saints. So you are 2-1.
Yep.
And overall, you've looked pretty good. But yeah, that is our rant on the futility that is.
And also, Randall Cobb, you're not fucking Odell, really.
Yeah,
They lost that game. They lost that game because Randall Cobb, for some apparent reason, forgot that he had a right hand.
Exactly. But yeah, some of the other games, you know what? Let's start with this one. The Dolphins just dropped 70 on the Broncos. 70-20. So Justin has some thoughts on the Denver Broncos. And
it's a good day to be a Colorado sports hater. It's a great day.
They had a rough day. We'll get to the second half of the Colorado sports futility in a little bit. But what were your thoughts on the whatever you called it, that Denver Broncos football team?
First of all, who here wants to explain the story of my fantasy football team, of my dynasty league, of my dynasty football team, and how I might just beat Ashton this week?
Hell fucking no.
So, Justin, I believe he's mentioned before that he just decided, you know what? Screw it. I'm trading all my players for draft picks. So he currently has, 27?
30.
He has 30 draft picks.
Over the next 3 years.
3 years. To put that in perspective, the default in Dynasty is 9. 9. And this kid has 30. 30! He has more than 3 times as many. He's acquired, a net of 21 draft picks.
I'm half of a third of the 2024 draft is me.
He literally has a third. The draft is played around. He has a third of a draft. Like I don't know how he did it. And Ashton has I'm not gonna lie, he has a phenomenal team. He's the favorite to win. And Justin might beat him. So Justin's team name is Sam Presti. Sam Presti is the general manager of the Oklahoma State Thunder, who of course also has a zillion draft picks. And whenever Justin beats anybody, he sends that meme with
You just got your first round pick stolen by Sam Presti. The
with
reason why
Superman
this is
eyes.
important is because, people thought I wasn't going to win. People thought I wasn't going to win a game. But what happened was Raheem Mostert popped the fuck off and gave me 45 fantasy points. What was that performance from the Broncos defense? Really? At this rate, you should just make Kendall Hinton your quarterback. At this point, it couldn't get any worse. Russell Wilson is not him.
No. He's
washed. His career is over. You said it last week. Everyone thought that when Sean Payton was coming in, they would immediately become better because it wasn't Nathaniel Hackett. That's not how it works.
No.
There are way more issues with it. The reason why I love this loss is because it's finally time to look at Russell Wilson and say it's your fault. It's about time. So
Right,
I
yes.
don't understand how you have Jerry Judy, who's in my opinion one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL, and you don't throw it to him.
Yeah,
Really,
I don't get
he's
it.
probably your best player.
He's up there.
I just don't. I don't get it, but I just love it. How do you lose? How do you how do you lose by 50 in an NFL game, let alone have 70 points dropped on your head in an NFL game?
Yeah.
That's a college level situation. That
Yeah.
really is. If they kept all their starters in, they probably would have they probably would have had 90 points.
Probably.
They probably would have had 100. Absolutely pathetic, but I love to see it.
So Sean Payton comes in here and says that the Nathaniel Hackett's coaching job is one of the worst coaching jobs ever. And this dude now comes out, loses to the Raiders.
He never lost by 50.
Exactly. Then he goes out and he loses to the Commanders because he couldn't get a 2-point conversion. Give up 35 points to Sam Howell. And then
Hey, don't say my boy Sam Howell.
Hey, Jake.
then he gives up 70 points in the football game. 70. Not in Madden, not in college. He gave up 70 points in an NFL game. Sean Payton, you're a clown and you suck. Shut up.
Hey, Jake.
What's up, Liam?
So, about the game with Raiders last night for our fantasy league.
Ooh.
Devontae Adams went off and
He
gave
did.
me 42.50 on points. I am.
Wow.
So where are you saying? Do you have a shot to win, Liam? Let me check right now.
I'm still a 2% win because
You
Ma-
still have
I still somehow have a shot. With
you have
Swift.
DeAndre Swift. I mean, if Swift goes off and if Jalen Hurts just sucks, maybe you win, but it's not. I don't know.
It's gonna be a close, tough battle. But if Swift does go off, I'll be happy. But it just coming down to Hurts to see how he's gonna play off.
Oh no, Jalen Hurts has been having a little bit of a lackluster start this season.
Okay.
Not like incredible, but
True.
so Swift might get a lot more touches than people
Yeah.
think.
Who are
Yeah.
they playing tomorrow?
Who are they playing today?
I mean today.
They're playing. So it's the Eagles
Eagles,
against.
Bucks, and then the Rams and the Bengals.
Yeah. So Sean Tucker time, baby. Let's go.
But that's actually a perfect segue into the next game we can talk about. Raiders and Steelers from the football. So Steelers hang on, win 23-18. Josh McDaniels decided with down by 8 with a little over 2 minutes to go on 4th and 4 from the Steelers' 8-yard line to kick a field goal. And of course that down 23-15. So Justin, what were your thoughts on this very questionable decision?
So I just want to bring this up. A lot of people like to criticize the whole Monday morning quarterback situation. But Monday morning quarterbacking exists because sometimes the fans are actually smarter than the coach.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you calling? I mean, Jimmy G was not playing bad. Jacoby Myers is going off, and that's not biased. He's on my fantasy team. Devontae Adams going off. Josh Jacobs still very, very solid. I don't understand why you wouldn't go for. Why are you just settling for a field goal? At the end of the day, it was 4th and 2 at their own 8-yard line.
Yeah, they need 4 yards for a first
Yeah,
and an 8-yard touchdown.
Yeah, you needed 4 yards you needed 4 yards for a touchdown. All you needed to do, and if all else fails, if you didn't get it, you're still in excellent field position to get the ball back.
Yeah.
All you needed was a simple 3 and out because Kenny Pickett would not have performed there.
No.
He just wouldn't have. It would have been George Pickens trying to do his damnedest, but Najee Harris wouldn't have done anything.
No.
That's for sure. Pat Freiermuth would have done enough, but still not good enough. I just don't understand a play calling, and the fact that he really tried to defend it, saying, "Oh yeah, we still had to get a position." Anyway. No, you wouldn't have.
No.
You really wouldn't have. It was that simple. You go for the touchdown, then you go for the 2-point conversion, and if you get it, you tie the game. And then it goes to something called overtime. Josh, have you ever heard of overtime? You won a Super Bowl in overtime, Josh.
I don't think he knows what overtime is.
I don't think he knows what I don't think he knows what football is. I really don't.
Yeah,
I don't think he
really
knows
think
what football is.
is.
But this is what I was saying with my rant with the Jets. It's like what the Jets were. Robert Saleh has not done this. Robert Saleh hasn't done this. Robert Saleh has not made this kind of call to where it's so horrendously bad to where it should immediately lose his job. The worst part is Josh McDaniels will not lose his job for this when there's been so many mistakes he's made, especially last year. Remember against the Rams, icing the extra point?
Oh God.
How do you do that? How do you ice the extra point? Why would you ice the extra point? I mean, I just it's beyond me how this guy still has a job.
Yeah, I don't get it. And also, so it's 4-4 from the 8-yard line. If you're driving down the field, you're driving. The Steelers' offense is stalling out.
I wouldn't necessarily say the Raiders are driving again after the Henry Ruggs situation. I would not necessarily use that term to describe a Raiders player.
So the Ravens are marching down the field.
There we go.
The Steelers' offense is stalling, so the defense is probably exhausted. And, they have 4-4. They should be able to convert a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion. If so, the game is tied, 2 or so minutes to go. Yes, the Steelers not going to run a 2-minute drill and get a field goal. The Raiders don't have a good defense, but also the Steelers' offense is not good. It's been struggling. And you could easily get a stop and possibly get the ball back, or at least get it to overtime.
Yep.
Even if, let's say, you get a touchdown and don't score a 2-point conversion, either way, you can get a stop and get the ball back and win the game with a field goal. Just in one scenario, the game will be tied. The other scenario, you would be down by 2. So if you miss it, you either be overtime or you lost. But at the end of the day, a field goal on the next drive would win the game for them. So I just don't understand. It makes no sense. And now they need to get a touchdown postal field goal. It just makes no sense. It's again, like you just said, like the fans are smarter than the team. Like anybody could just, it's simple math. If you go for a touchdown, you will need no more than 2 points on the next drive. And
even I can coach them.
Exactly, Liam.
I think the three of us should just become the coaching staff.
Exactly.
Head coach, offensive coordinator, Liam will be defensive coordinator,
yeah.
and then we win 13 games.
Yeah, and if you take a
yeah.
field goal,
If
then
you're the
you get 5
offensive
points.
coach, just keep running the PA cross.
I'll keep on running the PA cross. Yeah,
Doesn't
sure.
matter.
or just a white stick.
I'll whip out my RPO screen playbook from Madden, and I'll just keep on doing that.
Just keep running the shotgun pass.
Yeah, I'll keep on running a shotgun pass every time.
Shotgun with the screen.
I would still be more efficient than Josh McDaniels is on the coaching end.
Or just have the quarterback run every play.
Have the QB sneak every play, run a read option.
Yep.
I'll call for a quadruple option here.
Then for me for defense, I'll keep playing a blitz play no matter what.
They keep on calling a blitz.
But yeah,
I'll keep a blitz with one safety in the back.
Yep.
But yeah, with the major issue with it's not even like it was like a whole like judgment call and he got it wrong. It's simple math. If you get a touchdown, you need no more than 2 points. If you take a field goal, you need 5. A field goal is 3, touchdown is 7. Like it's just simple math.
I don't understand how last year Josh McDaniels survived the coaching carousel.
I don't get it.
It happens every year in the NFL. There's always like 5 or 6 coaches that get fired. I don't understand how he was not one of them.
He's always 1 or 2 guys that you just look at and just like, how do you bring the guy back? And he was that.
You gotta feel bad for
year.
Raiders fans.
Oh God, it's just been tortured for at least probably 20-25 years, and just bad coach or bad quarterback.
I mean, John Gruden was a respected coach. Emphasis on was.
Yeah. And
he also was a solid coach. Emphasis on was.
Yeah. But yeah, that happened.
It did happen. It was a moment of all time.
Let's talk about some other games. So trying to think, we had a lot of blowout, but let's talk about a close game. Colts beat the Ravens 20-19 in overtime with Gardner Minshew.
I am a happy man. I'm very pleased. All I could say is this. All that matters to me is if the Jets don't win, but if either the Patriots, Bills, Dolphins, Ravens, or Browns lose, I consider it a very good day. I consider it a fantastic day if one of those teams loses. Um, Look, I just don't understand. There were some very questionable calls to the Ravens' defense. In overtime on like a 4th and 3, there was that throw to Zay Flowers, and he was
That was
clearly
terrible.
shoved. It was clearly a PI. But anyway, Gardner Minshew owns your bum ass franchise, which is unfortunate because Gardner Minshew was projected to go to the Jets,
Mhm.
but that's not going to happen at this rate because
Yeah.
Richardson's out for a concussion. And I get why they're using Minshew because you're not going to bank on Sam Ellinger. But you know what? Good win for the Colts. Nice start. Ravens just got to go back to the drawing board and maybe next time, just don't suck.
Yeah.
It's really that simple.
Zach Moss had 30 carries for 120 yards. 30 carries for Zach Moss. And by the way, I just want to shout out Jared. He's one of the GAs here at Sacred Heart. He's staring at us through the big giant window here.
Jared.
yeah. Justin has a nice little bromance with Jared.
I have a bromance with
He
Jared.
actually, because
We are boys.
our cards don't work for this for the door here when it's locked, so Jared actually let us in. So shout out to Jared.
I
But,
knew Jared likes to stare at me. I knew it. I had a feeling.
But yeah, so Garmin could play well. He's actually a good game man. I legitimately think if you give him weapons, he could possibly get a team to the playoffs.
Yeah,
As
he
a-
could get
as
a
a
team to playoffs.
starter.
He's right.
He's not a bad quarterback, I don't think.
No, he's not.
All right, so we got 2 more games to talk about. First, we'll talk about the Chiefs-Bears drubbing. Chiefs win 41-10.
That was just. I mean, there's not much to talk about with that game. I mean, it just kind of really pushes forward what we were saying before. Saying last week, Patrick Mahomes is playing well.
Yeah.
They go back to their roots of just knowing how to play football again. There's always that one game they just lose. Real quick though, I just want to think. Speaking of losing, real quick, there's one Ravens fan who's like being really, really. Here's the thing. I say dumb things, but at least when I spin something, it makes sense. This guy said this. Oh, because the Ravens lost to the Colts, that means they're winning the Super Bowl. Because the last time the Chiefs lost to the Colts, they won the Super Bowl. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Make it make sense, buddy. We Hoopin thinks he's me. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, so yeah.
I love you guys.
Hey, Jared! What's going on?
Jared.
So Jared,
Jared, be my bae. Jared, don't leave me, Jared. Jared.
This is Jared, everybody.
Jared. Jared, real quick, what do you think about the Giants absolutely sucking this year?
Well, first of all, welcome, guys. I want to say hello. Glad to be here. But to answer your question, there's a couple of things actually that needs to be addressed here. Number one, this team's primed to be in the basement of the NFC East. I truly believe it. Washington, I know they just lost. I know they got hammered to Buffalo, but I still think they're better. If the Giants are going to do anything, it starts this Monday against the Seahawks, against Geno Smith. You have to beat them, because if you can't beat them, then you're not going to go anywhere. You got the Eagles in your division. They're an absolute monster. Dallas, by the way, just lost to the Cardinals, by the way. So
yeah, we'll talk about that.
That's weird. But like I said, Washington, Buffalo's better. Everyone knew that, but Washington's just better than the Giants right now. And if you can't tackle, you're not gonna win. So yeah.
Can't tackle.
Any other questions you have for me? Because
So speaking of bottom of the barrel, why?
And also, by the way, watching Miami drop 70 on the Broncos.
Yeah.
Do you realize the Giants play Seattle, then they go to Buffalo, and then they go back home to play Miami? Like if they dropped 70,
100 burger against the Giants.
No, I was just gonna say if they dropped 70 on the Broncos. They're a pretty decent, okay defense. Their offense is kind of suspect, but their defense have the best corner in the league. I'm sorry, that's Pat Surtain. That's he is. I think we all can agree there. But outside of that, if they drop 70 on the Broncos.
Make them 100 on the Giants.
120, I'd say.
So speaking of bottom of the barrel, why is Sacred Heart losing to Merrimack on Saturday? Why will they lose?
Why will they?
Yeah, why will Sacred Heart lose on Saturday?
Are you trying to get me fired?
No, this isn't going anywhere.
Oh, okay.
It's going to.
I don't know why.
Well,
Why is that, Liam?
This is not part of the senior project.
Oh, okay,
Jared.
cool.
This is for recreation.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I actually, I gotta be honest with you. I think there are actually two things. One, I have a friendly rivalry with a friend. He went to Merrimack, so anytime we play each other in school sports, it's like, whew, it's big time rivalry. But for me, I actually do think after beating St. Francis on the road, I think that kind of gives them mojo a little bit. Not gonna sit here and promise a win, but I think if you can go on the road against a team that has owned us for a while in St. Francis, the fact that they went in there and won that game gives me a little bit confidence going into this weekend. I don't think we're going to put up a lot of points because this offense just can't score. They rely on the defense a lot. But I honestly do think they could win this weekend. I know you want them to lose. I know that, but
I don't want them to lose. I'm just being a realist.
And no, I'm a realist too. And I just kind of look at it though, and I was like, if you can go in there and do that, I think that's kind of a wake-up call that, like, okay, we're back. We're going back home against a team that, yes, we struggled against ever since Merrimack has come into the NEC, but I think they can do it.
That's fair. And then the most important question I have to ask you, Jared, what's your stance on Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift right now?
That's a great question because I am a Swiftie.
You are a Swiftie.
I am.
So did you play? So did you spend $400 to go on her tour?
No, I did not. That I did not. No.
Good. You didn't put a second mortgage on.
You didn't put a second mortgage on your house?
I'm the inside secret into me. Like I love country music, so like I'll drop 400 on Morgan Wallen, Luke Combs, whatever. Taylor Swift, I love her, but when I saw those ticket prices, I was like, yeah, no, can't do it. But I love it. Where's my ISO camera? Look at this one right here.
Yeah, ISO.
Travis Kelce proved to all the guys anything is possible. So if I'm being honest, anything is possible. So if you've been talking to someone, just shoot your shot.
I mean, he also has 2 rings. So, I mean, do you think that helps with anything?
He's going to get a third because he's going to wife her up.
He is going to wife her up. That's true.
Might try it, but then if you thought about it this way too, obviously I hope he treats her well, all that. But if they break up, the firehouse,
yeah, I was gonna say
album is gonna
how hard do you think the breakup album is gonna go? Or am I gonna catch you crying in your office, Jared? Who hurt you, Taylor?
No, because I'll be gone and they'll still be dating and they'll be getting married and everything will be okay.
All right.
Is the office in your inheritance to me, Jared? Do I have it in the inheritance?
Maybe.
Do I get it?
I have a long list right
Let's
now,
go.
Guys, so, but how do you guys feel about that? About T Swift? Do you think that's going to be distraction to Mr. Kelce?
No. You know, I think it's gonna be like Jordan Poole, to where he's like a baddie on the field. On the court, he's just gonna go off, drop 40.
Do not try to. By the way, I was really upset. Andy Reid does not like love. Once I saw Travis Kelce, once I saw the tweet saying that Taylor Swift was there, I immediately went to my FanDuel plus 500 for 2 Travis Kelce touchdowns. Put $10 on it. You know, only got one. Really, Andy Reid? Really? I just need one more touchdown.
I mean. You know,
again, I don't bet that often, but I saw that. I was like plus 500 for 2 Travis Kelce with his girl in the stands. Come on.
He's got to step up his game. You know, if he wants to keep Taylor Swift, he's got to step up his game.
Oh, she seemed pretty excited.
Yeah.
Well, we got the LFG from her. That was kind of sick.
You got the LFG from Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about that. So real quick though, speaking of pop culture, Usher halftime show.
Love it.
Really?
He's been irrelevant for like 10 years, dude.
Dude,
he's like 40.
Have you seen all the other halftime shows though? Half of the people are irrelevant anyway. So
okay, I mean Eminem. Like 2 years ago, Eminem was not irrelevant.
Or I would not call Dr. Dre irrelevant.
I would not call Kendrick Lamar irrelevant. I call him mid, but I would not call him irrelevant.
Again, the last best one outside of last year's, because a big Rihanna fan. Come on, who isn't? But
love me some Rihanna.
Bruno Mars. The Seahawks, Denver Broncos.
Bruno Mars with Coldplay. Coldplay, that was fun. That was awesome. The stage was fantastic.
J-Lo, I thought was solid.
What's up?
The one with Shakira and J-Lo a few years back, I thought was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was my sophomore year.
Like,
that was
I love the Coldplay halftime show.
Coldplay was
Just
so much
love
fun.
it. Simple. It works.
Yeah, just got to keep it simple.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
guys, this has been a blast.
Of course,
really
I know you really enjoyed. I'm glad you enjoyed
been.
yourself, Jared.
No, where can I see this? Where?
YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah. You can follow us at Talk Sports with Jake. That's where this goes. That's my YouTube channel where I post it. So yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Other than that, Jets stink. Giants stink.
That's true.
Just give me an AFC Championship game of Miami, Kansas City right now. That's what I'm saying. Oh, and then one other thing again, reminder: Dallas lost to Arizona. So
Yeah, don't worry, we'll talk-
Peace
that's
out,
your-
boys.
Love you,
Thank you, Jared.
Love you, Jared.
Shout out to Jared.
I'll
One of
miss
the-
you, Jared.
Thank you, Jared, for tuning in.
What a homie. What a dude.
Hello, surprise appearance there.
What a brother.
Hello, surprise appearance there from Jared. But yeah, the Bears.
The Bears are just not good. I mean, this is one of those games, Jake, where you just gloss it over and just say, I mean, it's just like we were talking about last week. Justin Fields is not looking like the guy. Granted, would I probably say no if he was on the Jets? Probably not. Because I don't think, because as much as I don't think he's been good, I also don't necessarily think he's a bust. Because they also have, because in return, they also have not, I mean, they have given him a lot, but that defense is also atrocious.
Not good.
Like, the reason why they had 40 points dropped to them was not because of Justin Fields. That's a defense. But to
Yeah.
not keep up, that's an offense.
Yeah, but like, look, the Bears aren't good, and the Chiefs are amazing. Like, everyone, we all knew Chiefs were going to win. I did not think the game would be close. I think they were favored. The line was like -12. I did think they would cover that. I did not think it would be that close. That being said, 41-10. That's just embarrassing in this game. I think it was 31-0 at one point. You know, Mahomes didn't really. I'm not sure if he even played in the fourth quarter. Like,
No, it was Blaine Gabbert.
yeah, they didn't even play in the fourth quarter. It was just. If he stays in, that game might have been like at least 50-0, maybe 60-0. That was bad. And like going into the year, I thought, all right, I wasn't hopping on the hype train that the Bears were gonna like win the NFC North or make the playoffs. But I did think they were. I didn't think they were significantly better than last year because of how bad they were. They did bring in some pieces. You know, they got a really good return. You know, trading back. You know, in the draft they get DJ Moore, who I like. You know, they.
Oh my God, he's
Jared's
back.
back.
He's so
He's
back.
He's back. He's back.
Thank you guys. Just I've meant to bring this up. Tonight's Monday Night Football. I'm just gonna let you know right now. Baker Mayfield's feeling dangerous. He's gonna throw 3 touchdowns and beat the Eagles.
Oh.
What's your stance on the Syracuse running back legend Sean Tucker?
He got
about to
some
go off.
runs. He
He's about
got
to
some
go off.
runs. He's third in that. Well, now he's second in that backfield.
Are you aware that every week he tweets if he's pleased with the outcome of the game and his performance?
Are you a Syracuse fan?
No, I'm a Sacred Heart fan, but I'm a Sean Tucker enjoyer.
Justin loves some.
I love me some Sean Tucker.
He does.
I'm just saying, Tampa beating Philly tonight.
I agree.
Really?
I agree. Fraudulent
You guys
Eagles.
heard it here first. Jared is picking
Yeah.
the Bucks
All right.
over the
By the
Eagles.
way, I love that you're giving me a chance to speak on your podcast. One other thing too. I'm a Texas Longhorn football fan.
Ooh,
Bro.
there you go.
Nice.
I'm just saying. All right. I'm done. I promise. I'm done. All right.
Hey, you want to come back? You're more than welcome. Shout out to Jared once again.
Good shout out to Jared.
But yeah, the
Bye,
Bears.
Jared.
See you later, Jared.
Bears
They are
are
not
bad.
good.
Bears
They
are
are-
mid.
They are not good. But yeah, so
Jared's about to just jump in. He's gonna grab a chair and he's just gonna be like, "Mike, check me right now, Liam." That's what he's gonna do.
all right, so Cardinal Cowboys lose to the
I
Cardinals.
will do it. I'll do a 2-in-1 shot. I
All right.
will.
If need be.
Just give me
we
a quick
will-
warning.
Absolutely. All right, so Cardinals, who the hapless Arizona Cardinals just beat the Dallas Cowboys. And Justin is staring at me. By the way, guys, just so you know, on my cell phone, I have so many pics of Justin with just this like really disappointed face.
We have a flag of it in our
We literally
townhouse.
have a flag of it in our
Hey,
townhouse.
Jake.
Yes, Liam.
Why you have so many pics of Justin on your phone staring
I,
at you?
I
Why?
Just, I just do. I just do.
Why?
Yes, that's why. Yes.
Liam, I need an ISO.
I need nice.
So I up. Sure, give me a minute.
I need
All
an
right, so
ISO.
while Liam gets that set up, so the Dallas Cowboys, who everyone was praising
Justin,
as the
you have your
best,
ISO live right now.
All right.
so everyone thought they were the best team in football, and they lose to the Cardinals by 12 points. Yeah. Boys. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Doing that right now, Justin.
I was just checking to see if they stood them boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I had to do it. I'm like, if we talk about Cowboys Cardinal, I just had to just stare into the camera and just play We Them Boys. And
I thought you was trying me for a
every
second.
year they lose to the Cardinals. It does not matter. The only unfortunate thing is that they basically just fuck themselves out of Caleb Williams. They absolutely fucked themselves out
Yeah,
of Caleb Williams.
it's gonna be
But
hard.
with
It's gonna
that
be hard to
being
get 'em.
said, there is nothing sweeter in this world than watching the Cowboys
No.
lose. It is so sweet. It is so sweet that I might get diabetes from it. That's how sweet it is to just lose.
Oh my god.
To
Yeah.
lose to it.
But okay,
I
I
am
have.
talking about diabetes.
Diabetes.
Oh
Diabetes.
my god. I have one question. What in the name of the Lord was Dak Prescott looking at on that pick? Where were you throwing it?
For anybody who's curious, so it was like second or third and goal. The Cowboys had a chance for a touchdown, and Dak Prescott, so ball snapped, and Dak Prescott just throws it straight down the middle, right in front of 3 Cardinals defenders. Not a single Cowboys receiver in sight, throws it down the middle, and it gets picked. It was like such. I mean that's a pick that you do in practice.
Yeah.
Really, that's what a secondary practice is for.
That pick was like if I were to compare like how easy that was for a defensive player, it's like the same thing as like an MLB player taking batting practice. Like Aaron, like a lot of times like Aaron Judge, like he'll take batting practice and like a couple fans will be there. He'll just be launched like 480 feet because he's Aaron Judge and they got
He's a beast. Yeah.
an assistant coach throwing 30 miles an hour from 30 feet. Like that's how easy that pick was.
Yeah,
like, or it's a basketball player, shooting wide open threes. It's like Steph Curry doing like his wide open 3-pointer drill that he does in shoot around. Like it's
just stuff you do in practice.
yeah,
at that point.
It shouldn't be hard.
It shouldn't be hard, and I just don't understand why you give that such an easy pick like that. But it's the Cowboys. That's the thing. Every year they do this, and it starts the same every year. They win one game. This is our year. They win a second game. This is definitely our year. Then they lose to a team, and then it's, oh, well, that's okay. But this is where it falls off. Like, I still don't think Cowboys fans have accepted yet that Trayvon Diggs is that defense.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt them more than they think because look, their front 7 is loaded. Micah Parsons is insane. They got other guys up there. They got Dexter Lawrence, Leighton Vander Esch. But their secondary, outside of Diggs, Gilmore is still decent, but not the same. And their secondary, besides, because of how good Trayvon Diggs is, he was able to uplift an otherwise pretty mediocre secondary. But otherwise, their secondary isn't that great besides Diggs. So I think they're gonna really miss him. They got torched by Rondell Moore. Like, does that happen if Diggs is there? I mean, Diggs does give up a lot of yards, but I don't know if it does. Rondell Moore isn't exactly a world beater yet.
Yep.
So that's gonna be a pretty big loss.
Yeah.
So that's what we got for NFL.
There's one game I want to talk about that
Okay.
we need to talk about. We need to talk about Texans Jaguars.
Yes, so Jaguars 2 weeks in a row, their offense has struggled. You had the week prior to this against Kansas City, who of course is a great team, but obviously more known for their offense than their defense. Only put up 9 points. Now you only put up 17 against the Texans, who were down their top corner in Stingley and Jalen Petrie, so they already didn't have any secondary. Yep. It was 37-17. They're now 1-2.
Yeah, the Texans look good. They do look good. I think so. CJ Stroud is looking nice with it.
He has.
I only wish the Jets' second overall pick as a quarterback worked out like that.
Yeah.
But it did not. It is what it is. But he looks really good. I think making Tank Dell your wide receiver 1 or 2 was an excellent option because at one point he wasn't even starting. And I actually think this is a team that's going to shock a lot of people a lot more than we thought. And beating the Jaguars is no small feat. I mean, they're projected to be a top 5 team this year. and you beat them in such a pretty dominant fashion. I mean, I'm all for it. Go Texans.
Yeah, obviously the 1-2 record doesn't look anything special, but this is a really young team that look. I said this in the past. There's gonna be a lot of growing pains. They have a rookie quarterback. They have a rookie head coach. They have 2 rookie coordinators. They have a lot of young players. On both sides of the ball. There's gonna be a lot of growing pains. But Tank Dell looks really good. Stroud has looked good. I like Damian Pierce a lot. Yes, the offensive line definitely needs some work. The secondary's banged up now. But they're finally, like the last 2 years when they sucked, they looked hopeless. They might not be very good this year, but there at least is some hope. They're at least finally trending in the right direction.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so let's
Also, D'Amico Ryans looks like a good coach.
Yeah, I love that hire. He's gonna have a nice career. So let's talk about college. So let's start off first with Ohio State Notre Dame. So Ohio State wins 17-14. They got a 1-yard rushing touchdown. The last play of the game as time expired. Notre Dame had 10 players in the field on each of the last 2 plays. I didn't know that that was possible.
It's just so funny. It's just so funny. I don't understand how you just put 10 men on the field. You have to know better. As a coach, you need to know better. And you basically lost the game because you decide to not put one person down. Can you count? I'm not a genius at math, but at least I know how to count up to 11.
I could see 20 men on the field. Maybe it happens once, okay, and then maybe there's another miscommunication. And 10 men on the field, maybe there's miscommunication happens once, maybe, but to have not enough people on the field 2 plays in a row in the 2 biggest plays of the game. I don't know how you do that. Especially a game that you're one stop away from winning, and Notre Dame would have been a title contender for the rest of the year. They came in ranked 9th. They they would have been ranked ahead of Ohio State, I would think, for probably.
I mean, the strange thing is that's not usually how it works.
Yeah.
And I get why, because it would kind of make no sense because there's people in between that they'd have to play because so I wouldn't think that Notre Dame should have been ranked 4th, but they probably would have went up to 6th if they beat Ohio State. Ohio State probably would have went down to 5th or 7th, but they would not have. No, they would not have been out of top 10.
Notre Dame could have been established themselves as a legit title contender, and now everyone will continue to say the same old Notre Dame. Just they're a good team, but just can't win a big game.
For the big time game. They can't win.
Can't happen. Just can't.
All right. So what's the next game? What's the next game?
So the next game is actually Justin knows what the next game is. So it is number 19 Colorado got thrashed by number 10 Oregon 42-6. Justin has had a game prepared for probably 3 days, or something prepared for the last couple of days.
I love to go onto this podcast and just be the most insufferable bitch on planet Earth. I really, really do.
You also like to do that at the house, too.
I also do like to do that at the house. And you know what, Liam? You like me for it. Admit it. Admit it, Liam. You love me.
Oh, Lord, I've mercy on my soul for the things I've done.
Liam, you know you like me.
So this is the answer. Lord, have mercy on my soul for the things I've done and created.
What are you talking about? That doesn't answer my question.
Yes, it does.
Okay, sure. Gotcha. So the answer is
does.
no. So the answer is no. Okay, that's fantastic, Liam. That's yeah, after
hey,
this.
Jake,
what's up?
You agree with me on that answer, right?
Yep.
So the answer is no. That's heartbreaking. Wow. But yeah,
well, for what?
What's up?
Well, for what?
What are you, Liam? I think you're gaslighting me.
Yeah,
All right. Anyway, you know what I'm not gonna gaslight. You know what I'm not gonna No, I'm not gonna gaslight the fact that Colorado is mid. You can't really talk so much shit only to lose. only to get absolutely blown out.
When was Colorado
Yep,
good?
you lose one player, and you get blown out. Shador Sanders had negative 34 rushing yards. Are you kidding me? Deion Sanders, before the game started, said the press conference said that he's the best coach in college football, and you get destroyed by a 25-year-old Bo Nix.
Yeah, it
That's
was
not
ugly.
happening. This is the must needed. I am not saying that Colorado's a bad team because that's just wrong. What I am going to say though is if Colorado comes out of that, if Colorado left that game thinking that there's nothing that needed to be fixed, they are sorely mistaken. Because as I was saying to you last week, there was finally a time to come where they have to play a real team that will give them a real issue. And if they could step up to the plate and at least keep it close, I would say they're the real deal. They got destroyed.
Yeah, that was ugly. They just don't match up well. That offensive line is pitiful. Oregon's really good in the trenches. Oregon just overmatches Colorado. Even if Travis Hunter is there, I don't think that makes a difference. Oregon's offense just dominated that game. Colorado can't get a stop. Is one player really? Travis Hunter's phenomenal, but is one player really going to stop? Would have been 42-6? No, but I think it would have been 42-21. I don't think it would have been that close. But yeah, I think Colorado. Look, like you said, they're not bad. I think they'll be solid. They could end up being ranked this year. They'll be in a bowl game. They could win a bowl game, and they're gonna be fun to watch. But they're not a contender. They're not a contender, which is fine. They won one game last year. One. They won a single football game. They won one more game than you and I did last year, and they've already won 3. So they're all. I do think they're still trending in the right direction. But yeah.
This is still a great direction.
Yes.
I'm not going to say that, but what I am going to say is I don't understand how after 3 games, one of which was beating a TCU, losing their best players, another of which was Nebraska with Matt Rule as their head coach, and another one was Colorado State, which they barely beat. People are looking at them and saying they could win the Natty.
Yeah, they're not a contender yet. Again, they're going to be fun, and they're making progress, but they're not a contender yet.
Nope, not at all.
And before we close up the show, one more game I want to talk about. So number 4 Florida State beats Clemson 31-24 in overtime. Clemson had a field goal less than the last 2 minutes to win that game. They missed. Florida State ended up winning in overtime. So I have 2 questions. First of all, so Florida State the last 2 weeks, of course, they're 4-0. They're a top 14. They're a top team in the country right now. But the last 2 weeks, they barely beat Boston College, and then they barely beat Clemson, who of course is a big name. But this year, obviously, our unranked are not nearly as good. So, is Florida State a true contender? Does being close, still winning but being close with 2 unranked teams, make you skeptical, or do you think they are a legit contender?
I mean, I can see them making a high bowl game. I could see them making the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
But do I see them beating Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia? No.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll lose to one of them, especially if they play Georgia.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not too high on. I mean, I like Florida State a lot. I like what they're doing.
Yeah.
Also going in the right direction.
Definitely.
It's a little. I'm just not sure. It's a little too early to say how they're gonna go yet. But same thing with Colorado. They're going in the right direction. The reason why I was critical on Colorado, though, is because people were saying they were going to win the national championship.
Yeah.
No one is saying that Florida State's going to win it.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll win a bowl game.
All right, so the final question, this one's probably a little bit easier, I think. Clemson already has 2 losses, so their college football hopes are gone.
Are you sure? It's the easy question, Jake. Are you really sure?
I don't know. We'll see. They're 2-2. They're unranked. Florida State should win the ACC. Is Clemson's reign of dominating the ACC and winning it every year over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is it. I mean, gone are the days of Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
They've just have not found their footing since Trevor Lawrence left that team. Trevor Lawrence is now in year 3 or is it
Yeah.
year
Year
3? And they still haven't found anything. They still have not found an answer. They still have not done recruiting. I just don't think they've done good enough recruiting. I mean,
for
you're
whatever
literally
reason, Dabo needs to adapt.
Yeah,
he hates recruiting for some reason.
yeah. The problem is that I get it. I'm being a little bit too critical on recruiting for some people, but you need to think of it this way: the name Clemson alone has the name to where if you're a football player and you get a phone call from Clemson saying they want to talk to you, you're gonna be honored.
Exactly.
Like I'm not saying they're the creme de la creme, but they're up there.
Yeah.
I mean they are, but they bring in DJ Uyunglele, who's was terrible for them,
Mhm.
and now you have this new kid. I forgot his
Cade
name.
Klubnik.
Yeah, Cade Klubnik, who's not good.
Mhm.
Their best player is the running back. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
But he's been solid. But you need a quarterback in any football team, and if you don't have that, it's not going to be good. And I think it all comes down to recruiting. I'm another example I want to give is LSU. I don't think LSU is necessarily gone.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, losing Joe Burrow is a big hit. He's going to be gone anyway because he would have to graduate at some point. And there's going to be a rare moment to where any school will ever have another Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
You will almost never have another Joe Burrow. But at least they're trying to build something up from that.
Yeah.
Whereas Clemson, I just think they've kind of given up, thrown in the hat. It's like, okay, Trevor Lawrence was our last bet. And now that he's gone, well, it's over.
Yeah, like the last couple of years they've been solid. Like 2 years ago, they won 10 games. They were one of the better teams. Still won the ACC. Last year, I think they were top 10-ish. They still won the ACC, but then they got blown out in the bowl game. But this year, they're not going to win the ACC. They're going to probably lose in the bowl game again. It's their program is clearly on the way down. And now the ACC is actually good now. With Florida State finally, coming back, and now all of a sudden North Carolina is a good team. Duke, all of a sudden, football program is actually pretty good. So now the ACC, part of it is that the rest of the conference kind of caught up to them, kind of like compares to basketball. I think the reason that the FIBA team for USA, besides that they don't send as good a players to do in the Olympics, that the rest of the world kind of caught up to them. There's a lot of stars in the NBA that aren't American. You look at guys like Giannis, Jokic, just go down the list. But I think the rest of the conference is starting to catch up to them, but also the program themselves is on the way down.
Yep. You just got to adapt. If there's one thing about Alabama, I mean, they're not playing fantastic this year. They're still ranked, but they're not playing fantastic.
Yeah.
At least they adapt every year.
Yeah.
At least they're making an effort to constantly get new faces, constantly get new talent.
Exactly. All right. That's all we got for you guys today.
Yep.
Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, so long. Have a great day.
Love you, Jared.